All new show. Special guest, DC Youngfly with Benji Brown and Daphne Springs. Saturday, September 21st at Nationwide Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Football season is here, and you know what that means. Fall is just around the corner. Cooler temperatures on the way. If you've been dealing with drafty windows all summer, struggling on those crazy hot days, your AC just can't keep up, now is the perfect time to upgrade with Universal Windows Direct. Call them today, 614-502-5220. For every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply because they always do. Go to UWD.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. In Monday Night Football, the Falcons went to Philadelphia and knocked off the Eagles 22-21. Kirk Cousins' 7-yard touchdown pass to Drake London with 34 seconds remaining was the game winner. In April of 2023, the Carolina Panthers traded up 8 spots to get the number 1 pick in the draft. They selected quarterback Bryce Young, but Young has gone 2-16 as the starter. Yesterday, Coach Dave Canales announced that he is benching Young in favor of backup Andy Dalton. In baseball, the Guardians trailed Minnesota 3-0, but Cleveland scored single runs in the 5th and 7th. And then Kyle Manzardo hit a 2-run homer in the 8th, giving the Guards a 4-3 win. Emmanuel Clase pitched the 9th for his 46th save. That ties him with Jose Mesa for the franchise's single-season record. The Reds had the night off. The Sports Center is brought to you by Germain Toyota, the best selection of new and used cars in Central Ohio. View their full selection of vehicles online at germaintoyota.net. Breaking sports news on The Fan.
Panic and passion. Is that a motivational quote or the title of an adult romance novel? You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour number 3 of the program for us on a Tuesday. Brandon B, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here momentarily, we're going to talk to Schlegel. We'll interrupt his workout. And then at 8:35, Beau Bishop, a.k.a. Uncle Beau, Browns their first victory of the season. We're going to break it down with him coming up here a little bit later on in the program, around a half hour away from right now. 8:33 this morning, we'll check in with our favorite uncle.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Guards 4, Twins 3. Magic number for the playoffs down to 2. Magic number for the AL Central is at 6. They're back at it tonight. What, 6:40 tonight, Shark, or 7 o'clock? 6:40 in the evening is when they're back at it against Minnesota tonight. Reds at home against the Braves at 6:40. Falcons 22, Eagles 21. Minute and 39 seconds to be exact left in the clock. Falcons get the ball back. No timeouts, down 6 points. Hot knife through butter. Minute and 5 seconds. They drive all the way down the field and score a game-winning touchdown. So both teams now 1-1 on the season. We'll see what happens from there. But that's why I paid Kirk Cousins $180 million, and I'm not exactly sure what the Eagles defense was doing, but it was a pretty bad 2-minute drill for them. So 22-21 Falcons get it done in Philadelphia against the Eagles. And then the Crew are in Toronto tomorrow for a midweek extravaganza at 7:30. Only 7 matches to go on the season for them. So all kinds of good stuff here this week. Let's interrupt a workout, shall we?
The best way to start a morning is with a heavy dose of iron. Gas station ready, always. It is Schleg Day.
Sponsored by Sugar Shannara Accident Attorneys. We go to war for you at warforyou.com. That's warforyou.com.
We head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Check with our great friend. He is Anthony Schlegel. Schlegs, happy Tuesday, buddy. What's happening?
Happy Tuesday. You guys just caught me in the middle of a Schleg day just here at the all-weekend bumping where dudes are being dudes and dudettes are being dudettes, and being a dude's a lifestyle, not a gender. What are you guys doing?
We're just doing this radio show. Why are you out of breath? What are we doing?
I mean, I did legs yesterday. I went to West Side with my boy, Tom Barry, who's the CEO there, and we did like this really cool total body dynamic effort day. And so Dr. Sean tore his quad. I mean, because we've been running and doing stuff like that, and then he worked out with Cam Johnson, who Cam suffered a season-ending injury, which is freaking terrible. And this was before that. And then he went out and was coaching his girls' daughters basketball teams, running around. Like, gosh, Sean. I'm like, bro, and then he tore his quad. So Chargers are winning, and so he was just in there doing back, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's go do freaking back. So we're just being soldiers.
It's a backtastic day, Schlegs. I love that you were getting into it. Without any Buckeyes on, what did we do this weekend?
Oh, my gosh, Bobby. I mean, what did we not do?
That's a fair question.
What did we not do? Shot my bow. I had these new arrows from DC Arrows. They're out of Southeast Ohio. Guys like, hey, you want a good arrow? I got you a good arrow. I was like, well, let's go. And then I've been shooting them like crazy, just super dialed in, getting ready for the deer season. So that
when is that? When is deer season?
It's always the last week of September.
Okay.
Last weekend of September. But so getting that dialed in, doing stuff around the farm, cutting up trees, digging holes. I mean, I dug a hole and I put one of my old truck tires in it so I could, swing a sledgehammer on it and then go back and shoot my bow at 60 yards just to see if I can catch my breath and still be dialed in, and just fun, crazy stuff like that. That's awesome.
So that's like in the Olympics where they do. You would like the Winter Olympics where they do the cross country skiing
is that the biathlon?
The biathlon, and they you're basically hunting another human that you see in some of those movies with the Russian dudes where they're hunting somebody on skis, tracking them, and then they got to go shoot them for accuracy.
Yeah, most dangerous game. But I mean, I wouldn't be like those people with all the technology guys. I'd be like the guy from Turkey. Except it'd be Red Man Golden Blend, a Blackie Mild. And always got to have eye protection.
The Soviet treat right there.
Which he did. So, hey, I'd be super discreet. You know what I mean? Just as long as you're downwind, they can't smell the sweet fragrance of the Blackie Mild. Wood tip.
He is Anthony Schlegel with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Question for you. Improvement week is over. Buckeyes getting ready to host the Marshall coming up here at noon. What are we jumping back into as we go from improvement week here to game week?
Well, I think it's just what you see around college football. Bob and I talked about it on the Bobby Carpenter show, and you're seeing, and Lathan did a great job of just, it's amazing how guys get older and they watch games and they just watch it from a different perspective. And our guys are understanding the importance and the things that Ryan is saying. It's the little things, it's the details, it's the fundamentals of the game. You see, and again, it wasn't egregious, but the backside block on a quarterback, even though he shoved him, just stand there, right? He's going to run into you, probably fall down. Not a flag, right? And that negates a pick six. Because South Carolina dominated that game. They dominated the line of scrimmage. And they're finding a way of losing it. You see a lot of teams this last week, I'm just taking notes on all these games. I'm like, dude, they had over 100 yards of penalties. You can't do that. You know what I mean? Some of it is selfish. Some of it is lack of execution. But then you also are seeing the fundamentals always win. What is the fundamentals? Win the line of scrimmage, right? The turnover battle. You see that right now. That goes back to, 9 units strong, but everybody has to be able to handle their business and do their job respectively, and you got to trust one another. And when you have things like that, that's completely different than executing. You saw last night in the Eagles game, right? You go for it. You do a rollout pass.
Yeah.
If you just execute, it's a great call. Because people were like, well, why don't you run it and take time off the clock? That was the play that they wanted, right? It was a rollout. If it's not there, I keep it. We run the clock. If it is there, I trust my guy to go make a play. He doesn't execute, puts time on the clock. Kirk Cousins goes down, scores a touchdown, wins the football game. So it's back and forth, but again, the fundamentals in 2024 still win. And that's what you got to be about. And those are the things that aren't sexy, you know? They're not. People look at that like, oh, look how sexy they are and disciplined. You know, that's a really disciplined team. Looks so good. You know, they don't make self-inflicted mistakes. Let's talk about that. That's so hot right now. Nobody talks about that. You know, they talk about, hey, why does Will Howard only have like 4 passing touchdowns and these other guys have 30? You know, it's like he's doing his job, guys. Like, what are we talking about? It's great.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting as we talked to our guy Anthony Schlegel here on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. I was amazed. There was an epidemic of bad ball that's being played like in the NFL, and Schlegel, you've been watching it for a long time, and whether it was last night, whether it's Deshaun Watson almost fumbling in the same situation when all you got to do is punt the ball away, and it ends up could have been a pass, could have been then, ended up being a pass, thankfully. But like, I've never understood giving teams more time than they need to, even though these coaches get really smart and try to figure some stuff out. Where do you think all this bad ball stems from?
I mean, it stems from a lack of preparation, right? So, you know, everything is about player safety, and it 100% should be about player safety, but then that means you have to be a significantly better coach and be able to articulate these things better. When you lack pregame or preseason games that actually are a little bit meaningful and want to get reps, that builds continuity, you have guys that aren't in camp, there's going to be an adjustment period, guys, and we're just happen to see it. And we talked about it a long time ago. You know, you're just seeing it now in the early weeks of the season. It will get cleaned up as you go, but then you want to expand to an 18-game season with probably 2 preseason games. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it has to show up somewhere. Normally those things show up in camp or in a preseason, and you can get them fixed. But we also are in the thing where you have to win with the dudes that you're there. Like, it's still the Jimmies and Joes to run the X's and O's, and they can't do that if they're hurt. So I understand both sides of the coin here, but that's what you get when you don't have the continuity and the time to practice under live circumstances in preseason games that you do. Now, as far as like the college game, that to me goes into culture. It goes into that fall camp. It goes into spring football. You know, coaches got to do a better job of being efficient with their time. And here's the thing, like we talked about all the time, Bob, you can't coach toughness in November in the season. Nope. That happens in January, right? You can't start leaning on the fundamentals of the game and moving your feet and elbows in, thumbs up when you strike or hold on to a block, right? In season, like that's done in spring football, that's done in the off season, that's done in the summer, that's done during camp, right? Those things have to be ingrained in you so that you can react and not think, you know? So because when you think, you play hesitant. And so I just think that you're finding that coaches have to become better. They have to really streamline what they're about. But ultimately, it's fun to watch for me because fundamentals win, regardless if it's business or if it's football. Fundamentals win.
I think we'll end on that. Pretty wise words. Buddy, always appreciate the time. Enjoy that cricket that you got chirping in the background, and we'll check in again next week, all right?
I stepped outside. I'm going to go just roll my face
Take it
off.
outside.
I'm just going to keep rolling, and I'm going to do some arms, and I'm going to just get vascular, and then I'm going to go get my day going. So, hey, Columbus, stay classy, attack and dominate, go Bucks, see cancer.
Schlegs, chicks dig big backs. Remember that.
Oh, yeah, big back, 6 cylinders, Bob.
See you, buddy.
You're in. Bye.
There he goes. Anthony Schlegel with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. It never fails, too, because my stepdad listens from like 8 to 8:25 because he's got some downtime while driving the bus. He always texts me on Tuesday. Schleg's the best. He is the best. Love that guy. Shark, you're not going to have a good time coming up here on September 28th. That's next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, right now we are still watching a disabled vehicle on I-70 eastbound. The left shoulder blocked off in those eastbound lanes right near the 670 split because of an issue crews are working to clear up. Also still watching crews at the intersection of 104 and Durrett Road because of a crash from earlier this morning. Use 23 in both directions to get around this closure. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Common Man here for Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton. Fall is here. It's still warm and dry and everything's brown. But yay, fall. Maybe after your summer road trips, you've realized your vehicle sucks. My friends at Germain Lexus want to help. Right now, they have special APRs as low as 2.99% on their most popular models like the ES and RX, or lease payments starting as low as $4.99 a month. My friends at Germain are the best in the business. If you're in the market, please stop in. 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
At Baths R Us, we're terrible roofers. We stink at installing siding. And don't ever call us for your kitchen remodel. But if you want a stunning, beautiful bathroom makeover in just 2 or 3 days, now that's when you want to call us. See, unlike most contractors these days, we offer only one service, bathroom remodeling. We don't spread ourselves thin by doing roofing or siding and a bunch of other stuff. Nope. At Baths R Us, we dedicate every company resource into mastering the craft of bath transformations. It's why we're the Midwest's biggest 5-star family-owned bathroom company. And it's why we have the happiest customers. Just check out our Google reviews. Baths R Us. We're terrible roofers, but we're awesome bathroom remodelers. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown, dumb since day one. The Fan.
Use your own body's healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get you real lasting pain relief? That sounds amazing. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine. And if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, I've had it before. I've had it in my knee. I went and saw the professionals, the experts at QC Kinetics. They're the leaders in regenerative medicine. Guess what? There's no surgery, there's no drugs, there's no downtime. And my dad did it as well. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients just like me, so I'm back to running again. My dad is back to walking again. They've got locations conveniently located in Dublin and Gahanna, so go check them out by going to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Sherrod Brown says,
I'll work with anyone to protect Ohio.
But what Sherrod Brown does in D.C. has not protected Ohio women and children. Brown voted multiple times to allow transgender biological males to compete in girls' sports. Not only unfair, but risking injury to female athletes. Brown even introduced legislation to allow transgender biological men into girls' locker rooms. And Brown would allow puberty blockers, even sex change surgery for children. Worse, Brown introduced a law to force women's domestic violence shelters to accept transgender biological men, inflicting more trauma on abused women. So when Brown says,
I'll work with anyone to protect Ohio,
Sherrod Brown is not protecting Ohio women and children. In fact, he's endangering them. Ohio deserves better. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy out there today with a high of 83, low 60s tonight. A little bit more sunshine on your Wednesday with a high of 81. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Beam has a baby face. Bobby has soft hands. That should not stop you from listening to this show. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here in our next segment around 8:33, our favorite uncle, Uncle Beau Bishop. He's going to join the program. We'll recap the Browns' first victory of the season down in Duval against the Jags. So he's going to join us coming up here in our next segment. Before we get into anything else, Bob, do this.
Oh boy, you hear the sound. You know it's the Rooster. It's a Tuesday, Appetizer Tuesday at Roosters, featured appetizer, $3 all day long. That's the mozzarella stick, crispy breaded outside, gooey, cheesy inside, served with a side of marinara. They're delicious and they are tasty. Now, Beam, we're going to give you a chance to win a $50 gift card to Roosters. Get whatever delights you love over there if you can answer this question.
You could be like the Shark Special. Give me 10 Flappers garlic if you want to. 614-821-9710. That's the phone number. Get the correct answer into Shark. You'll be walking away with a $50 gift card to our good friends over at Roosters. The Saints starting offense. Now, in the game against the Cowboys, Derek Carr threw an interception. Their starting offense scored on how many consecutive drives to start the season? 614-821-9710. That's the phone number. Get the answer into Shark, and you'll be walking away with a $50 gift card over to Roosters. That was a bloodbath on Sunday, by the way. I mean, in the first two games, the New Orleans Saints. Now, granted, you and I had this conversation on Wednesday after week number 1. I said the Saints, 47-10. I'm going to put a pin in them. Anytime you score 47 points in an NFL game, obviously really good. But it was Bryce Young, and it was the Panthers. Let's see him do it again this week. And they did. They went down to Jerry World and absolutely stomped them 44-19. They have scored a grand total of 91 points through the first two games of the season. It doesn't even make sense.
It's called doing it solid, Bean.
Yeah.
It's pretty darn impressive with what they've been able to do. Derek Carr looks good. That zone running scheme with Brian Kubiak, I believe, Gary's son, looking good down there. And Derek Carr is slinging. If you don't get pressure on him, man, he is good. And they have two really fast receivers.
That's why I like the NFL, because you can go into an offseason and say, boy, this team's not going to be good. We get the highest odds of our coach being fired. Not to say that the Saints are going to make the playoffs. Now, history is on their side because, what is it, 75% or 76%? The time that you start a season 2-0, you make the playoffs. But I don't think anybody in the world was expecting the New Orleans Saints offense to do this, and they are, that's why the NFL is the best. Because honestly, Bob, like on a year in, year out basis, you don't know what your team is going to be.
I have no clue what your team's going to be. Just like the Chargers. Brought in Jim Harbaugh, turned that thing around.
It's like the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy out for the season. Sam Darnold, boom, 2-0.
They turned it around quick, and J.K. Dobbins leading the NFL in rushing, 266 yards. Shark, have we not played this yet, the J.K. sound from last week on the McAfee show?
We have not.
Have you heard this, Beam?
I have heard this.
Oh, it's tremendous. It's one of the favorites. You already got the winner, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
So J.K. was on the McAfee show after his first game, huge performance, backs it up with another 137 yards last week, leading the NFL, like I said. Pat was asking him about Jim Harbaugh, what he's like to be a coach, and then kind of dives in to some of the Michigan stuff. This is their interaction there.
He's just a different animal.
He is.
Man, what a weapon. And JK, it feels like you're all bought in, though, right? I mean, it happens everywhere he goes. When he was at San Fran, obviously, he goes to the Super Bowl. He goes to Michigan. They win a national championship. They beat Ohio State. 3 straight times, including in Columbus.
Yeah.
In Columbus.
We're not gonna get into that because I love him. That's my coach right now. But as an Ohio State person, I don't think those games will count. But we're not. But look, I love Coach. He is a great coach. He is a winner. But he had a person on the staff that those games might count.
Good. All right. Obviously, the investigation shall continue up there.
Love it. J.K. Buckeye through and through.
I don't think those games are going to count.
He's the best. Always enjoy him.
Man, tell you what, that guy's been through a lot of strife. It's
really fun to see him.
Truly awesome to see this.
Because we saw it at Ohio State and how good he was. And this is the first time I feel like the running game looks kind of like it did when he was here, where you had home run hitting and you could go get yards whenever you needed them. JK, I'll never forget, he burst on the scene. I was doing sideline
Indiana
for ESPN on Indiana. They had the Megacast on. It was a Thursday night. And go over there was Mike Weber. Yeah, it was a hamstring, I believe. So we're starting a true freshman, J.K. Dobbins. He goes out there, puts on like an Archie Griffin, Maurice Claret type performance in the opening game. And Mike Weber's hamstring got better really quickly.
I bet.
Because J.K. looked really stinking good and was incredibly dominant. And he is, folks, I'll tell you this, like, I don't very rarely speak ill of anybody, but like I love championing guys who are awesome people, and J.K. Dobbins is an awesome person. Like, he is a great guy. Anybody who's ever had a chance to interact with him will tell you the same thing. Like, he's genuine. He has a smile that lights up the room. He's got time for everybody. Just super kind guy. He came to one of my son's birthday parties. Like, just super. He's not very big. He's over there. He's like almost the size of some of these guys, and hanging out with them, and just so polite and awesome. Just big smile. LaGrange, Texas, and this could not be happening to a better guy. Like what you said, Beam, torn ACL, Achilles, grinds all the way back from that. It's to change teams.
Well, grinds back last year.
Yeah,
and then gets hurt again.
Gets hurt again. That's what I'm saying. And then grinds one more time. Goes there. Veteran-ish deal, like nothing crazy, and pay him a lot to sign there. And I hope he has a great year and gets a nice little contract after this. I mean, he's leading the NFL in rushing, and I don't know why should he stay healthy, couldn't potentially do that throughout the season.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it's one of the best stories going. So continued luck with JK out there in Los Angeles. Who they got this week? Let's see. They smoked the Panthers this week. Ooh, they're in Pittsburgh this week.
Oh, yeah, coming back.
All right, they're in Pittsburgh this week. So we'll see what happens with JK. But yeah,
Little Fields JK
battle duel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see JK's career stats.
He hasn't. I mean, he's had explosive runs, but he's never played a ton.
JK played in 15 games his rookie year with 805 yards.
Good then.
Really good. 9 touchdowns. Missed the entire 2021 season. Came back in 2022. Played in 8 games, 520. Played in 1 game last year, Bob. Only had 8 carries for 22 yards. And this year through 2 games, 27 carries for 266 yards. That is averaging 9.9 yards per carry. JK, for his entire career on 261 rushing attempts, has 1,613 yards. He has a 6.2 yard per carry average across his career.
You like that? That's nice.
That's going to get you exactly where you need to go. Sharky, you're going to have a bad time on September 28th. Because the Buckeyes and the Spartans of Michigan State, not only will it be a primetime game, but, my friend, they will be on the NBC service, The Peacock.
I'm going to buy The Peacock.
No, you're not. You're going to go over to Megan's house and
That's right.
siphon that stream from her.
That's right. Going to my daughter's. We'll have a big party. Be all-inclusive because my sister doesn't have Peacock either, and neither does one of my sons. So we'll just have a big party.
So everybody just mooches off her?
Bob, we'll bring food over.
Okay.
Prime rib.
What does Peacock cost? I'll give her a donation.
$6 a month, I think.
Okay, I'll pay $1.50.
I love it. So generous, Shark.
Just make sure that
bring some good food.
Yeah, make sure that you cook or you grill or smoke something really nice that day. 7 o'clock kickoff. Peacock extravaganza for the Buckeyes and the Spartans. Congratulations to Billy from Lancaster. 15 drives in a row. Starting offense for the Saints have scored consecutively on drives. 15 drives in a row.
It's virtually impossible in the NFL.
Doesn't make any sense. Browns with their first victory of the season. Our favorite Uncle Beau Bishop. He's going to break it down with us next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, the right shoulder is blocked off on I-71 northbound. This is on the south side, right near Frank Road, State Route 104. Watch for that. Also, a disabled vehicle has slow-moving traffic on I-70 eastbound, just past Wilson Road. And on 670, we're watching the right shoulder blocked off in those westbound lanes, just east of Cassidy Avenue. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steckerwald with your fan traffic.
Order like a champ at Raising Cane's. With tailgates of hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade, you can guarantee victory for every game day meal. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com. We're dealing.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right. Enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Did you know we have another station? More Buckeyes, more play-by-play, more everything.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2 or listen on the Fan app.
Your home for almost too much football. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. For roof.
Barely 5 hours a week. It's how much time most of us spend outdoors. Not nearly enough time getting lost in canopies of breathtaking fall colors. Brilliant hues extending all across America's third most forested state. We could all use a little more time outdoors, soothing mind, body, and spirit in West Virginia. Plan your fall getaway at WVTourism.com.
Your local Rite Aid might be closing, but don't worry. It's easy to transfer your prescriptions with GoodRx. First, check prices at GoodRx.com or on our app. Then show your coupon to the pharmacist. It's that simple. GoodRx can save you up to 80% on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, GoodRx is free and it works whether you have insurance or not. Download the app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
A radio show hosted by 2 former football players, one slightly more successful than the other. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Well, Tuesday edition of the program, Brandon B., Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark, and at this time every Tuesday we get to check in with our favorite uncle.
Beau knows bourbon. Beau knows fashion. Beau knows horseback riding. but most importantly, Beau knows Browns.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery, home of the best blended whiskey in America. Grab a bottle or dine in at their 2 restaurant locations in Grandview and Gahanna. Drink local, drink High Bank.
Happy non-off week, Unc. What's going on? How'd you take in your bye weekend?
Oh, God. Family time. Did a little manual labor. Taught the boys some manual labor. Did some edging around the sport court. Put in a little bit of a rock thing so that we could weed whack around it a little bit. The boys looked at me as if I was a wizard because they you know how to do that, Dad? Yeah, I do. I do know how to ranch. Yeah, I do know how to do this. And it occurred to me that perhaps my children have their perception of me could not be different than my youth reality. And that even though we do get out west, try to get out there once a year and they see me ride horse and all that stuff.
Summer camp at Grandpa's next year.
That's right. They just don't have the stuff like fixing a fence, for example, for days on end all summer long. Like they don't have any idea about any of that.
Oh, Coach, you got to teach them how to string some wire now. You got to get the crank out there.
Come on.
Listen, this would be a great opportunity.
Dude, I don't know if it'd be a lot of PTSD for me. My summers for many summers were essentially get on a four-wheeler, have a lunch pail, like an igloo lunch pail, a four-wheeler, and then it would have a rack in the back that had all this fixing stuff, like a box rack on the back. And then you'd harness everything down, and then I would leave by 7:30 in the morning, and then I would be back around 5:30 or 6, and that was a day. Just go drive and fix things.
Coach,
go fix fence.
You're robbing just drive the fence line.
I drink and I know things. I drive and I fix things.
Brother.
That's the same thing.
That's all I do.
A chainsaw, maybe cut some of the trees that fell down on it.
Sure. Can't let the precious beasts get out. God knows they don't have a brand on them. We'd never know whose are ours.
Well, but then you got to hurt them. You got to go round them back up, get them back in there. I mean,
I've thought about taking them to branding once. Just to wrap their head around that.
The Yellowstone Ranch, the brand on them.
When we steer the cow, I make my boys go watch when we steer our cows, and it's a much more the process isn't near as smooth as I'm sure it probably is for you guys. We don't have the setup, so it relies more on brute strength and just human determination and will. But I make them watch it, and I'm like, dude, you're down in here with everything, bud. I mean, it's a mess. It is a mess of life. And then they got this last time, you'll love this. They started getting sick, and some of the cows were dying. So we had to go there, and we had to inoculate them, give them vaccines. I'm like, you'd have easier time giving some of the humans in America a vaccine in these things. And they're like, just walk up there and stab it. I'm like, I don't think you understand how that works, big dog.
No, you don't understand how that
1,000-pound beast of solid muscle. You can get this thing to hold still. Oh, it was brutal. I mean, I'm half worried. My dad gets in there now. It's supposed to be my brothers and I. Yeah. But I'm like literally half worried that this thing's just gonna literally leg kick me, and I'm going to be laying there with a broken leg. And that's
head on a swivel.
Swivel.
You got to have head on a swivel.
Jeez.
That's why you're such a great linebacker, buddy. They were coming from all areas.
Oh, but you're in the mud. When the cows step in the pens, they get all muddy and
it's awful. It's and my two youngest all of them are really kind-hearted. Like they don't, I don't think they would do well at a hunt, like the Bishop family hunt. I don't think they'd.
You got to get them with Grandpa for a week.
Yeah, I don't know. He's trying
to harden him up.
Dude, you go out there with him, and he's got no point of reference. Like, he just walks into a corral, and, there's all the horses around, and he bridles or, puts a halter on one and brings it out. The kids are just following him. Like, Dad, they don't know to not walk behind the horses. Do you understand? They don't understand that they get kicked in the head and brained, and then I'm down a son. Now, I got two more, but that's the reality of the situation. And they have he's like, oh, they're fine. They're fine. That's his answer to everything. They're fine. I'm like, they didn't grow up how you did and how I did. I grew up around it. I'm used to it. They have no point of reference on it. None.
Kid watched video games of other people playing on YouTube all day, Dad. That's what they do.
Come on, they don't know. They're doing that with the NCAA game, Beam, and they're watching it. And I'm going, you realize you could just play it.
Exactly, we got it right here.
Why are we watching this jerk play it? What's he doing that's anything you couldn't be doing? Aren't you doing the same thing?
Oh, it's amazing. You know what's amazing is last night I saw Nick Sirianni try to do the same thing, but was less successful, I guess, as Kevin Stefanski at the end of the game with the clock management.
On the Saquon play?
Yeah, I mean, instead of just maybe running it and not throwing the ball, or maybe trying to turn it over, I guess, in Deshaun's case, and giving them the ball back when you're up a touch or needs a touchdown to at least beat you. there was so much bad ball at the end of games this weekend, Beau. I'm not even sure how to describe it.
No, oh my God, yeah, the Browns had a bunch of bad ball for them with the way you mentioned the Deshaun play. Yeah, there was. Across the league, it's been really tough to watch the first 2 weeks. I think it's preseason, among other things, that, they don't participate in. The one thing that I asked Kevin about this, because this happened a year ago. I can't remember the game it happened in, but we asked him about it, and he said that their rules to the quarterback on that are, this is a rollout. You have two choices. If this is a hand it to them layup, you can throw the ball. If not, slide and get down and stay in bounds. That's it. Two choices. There isn't a third, right? There's not a third.
What about the change of hands?
Of the P.J. Walker San Francisco 49ers
That's exactly it,
Yeah.
Beam. Good job out of you. That's exactly it. It was that one exactly. It was the 49ers one. That's a fantastic job out of you. Good memory. It was that one, and then Deshaun did it in the game on Sunday, where he just there's only two choices, and that isn't one of them.
The only thing worse than incompletion is a turnover. I mean, he made him go to the review to see which was the worst. That's what was unbelievable. I'm like, take the sack. And P.J. Walker is a young player. Deshaun has been in the league now for a number of years. That's why it's inexplicable to me.
No, it is. It was absolutely brutal. And the thing that, from their perspective, what sucked about it is it took away from what was an otherwise his best start to a game as a Cleveland Brown. I really think that. I think it's the best he ever started a game since he's been a Brown. And he was probably undone. His stats don't do justice to how well he played, because Amari dropped two, and one's a layup. I mean, one is an absolute layup. Amari, I think, is pressing a little bit. I don't know if you guys noticed on the third down play where he had the first down and then he went back below the first down marker and then got tackled, ended up being a 4th and short. So I think he's pressing a little bit.
I want to say that him and Elijah Moore both lead the league in drops, both with 3.
Amari has 3 for sure that are ones he normally catches. Elijah's had some trouble, obviously, in his career with that a little bit, but Amari is as sure-handed as it gets. And to drop 3, and they've all been critical. The one was the deep bomb in week 1, not that they would have come back, but I mean, it was a deep ball in week 1, and then the 2 in the game on Sunday were certainly problematic. But I suppose from their perspective, positive play out of the quarterback position with number 4 is the takeaway from the game on Sunday, and hopefully for them there's something to build on. I thought it was more of a Stefanski vintage performance to me, guys, in terms of the run game to set up the pass. I think Dante Foreman is a huge part of it. The physicality he runs with, I think, allows for some things too. So I think you'll see a lot more of him going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I know the vibes have to be totally different this week than they were last, right? I mean, coming off of blowout loss. Everything that was going on in the building, you get a victory to kind of alleviate some of that pressure.
I think it's the most pressured game he played was last Sunday. I mean, his father dies the Friday before the opener. He had a close friend who died the week before. Then those new allegations come on Monday. Doesn't play well against the Cowboys at home. A million things questioning him. Are the Browns trying to buy him out? All of this stuff. And then all you got to do is go play against the guy who won a national championship 2 years after you at Clemson. And so I think there was a lot in it for him. And I think from their perspective on the field, that's the best he's ever started a game. And that really matters to them.
Well, good news, you got the Giants this week. So, if you can't beat Daniel Jones out there, who I don't know who we can.
Isn't it amazing how the Giants and the former Washington Redskins, now Washington Commanders, like those two franchises, like how iconic they were, Bob, in our youth and Beam. Yeah. You're probably a little too young to remember it, but those two franchises went shoulder to shoulder with the 49ers and the Cowboys. They were premier franchises, multiple Super Bowl champions for both of them, and the Washington franchise has been wayward for two and a half decades. Bob, you couldn't get a ticket there. Like when your dad played them, there were no tickets. There were no season tickets. It was a waiting list 100 years long. You couldn't get into RFK Stadium. And the Giants are one of the preeminent franchises, and it's been a struggle for a decade plus for both of them. It's wild.
It's really bad. I don't know. I know we did the fan poll a couple of weeks ago, or maybe in the middle of last week, like which quarterback starts the most games. And I thought for sure it was going to be Dan Jones. Now, we obviously got the Bryce Young news yesterday.
How about that?
But still, I mean, the fact that Dan Jones has started 66 games and Bryce Young got 18, like that doesn't make any sense.
He got a new contract, Beam.
Yeah, he not only that, he got a new contract. I guess they did make the playoffs, so I mean, you got that going for you, which is nice. But I mean, if you can't take care of business to them 1:00 on Sunday at home, then I don't know what we're going to be doing here.
I think I think it's going to be. What they'll do from a pass rush perspective, I think would just be overwhelming. One thing to watch is Denzel Ward. He didn't play towards the second half of the game quite a bit against Jacksonville on Sunday and had a shoulder thing. So he's always nursing things. So something to watch for this weekend, and certainly as the season goes along. I do have a word for you guys that I'm getting hit upside the head by the 12-year-old crash out. So if there's something where I even say, hey, Paid, I need you to put your dishes away. Dad, don't crash out. Don't crash out, okay? Don't crash out. Well, I'm not crashing out. I'm just saying put away the dishes. Well, you're starting to crash out, Dad. Sounds like you're crashing out to me.
What's that even mean?
I'm about ready to show you crap. You want to see?
I'm going to see you crash out. Watch
crash
this.
out. It's coming. Not yet, but it's real and it's coming.
Word of the week for me is gnome. William has learned the word gnome because our neighbor has garden gnomes, and he wants to be picked up every hour of the day to look at his gnomes. Unc, always appreciate the time. Have a fantastic show today. We'll check in again next week, all right?
See you, boys. Take care.
There you go. So Uncle Beau Bishop with us every single Tuesday here at this time. We're going to reveal our fan poll next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, the left shoulder is slightly blocked off on I-70 eastbound near Wilson Road. Also on the south side, I-71 northbound, the right shoulder blocked off due to a crash right near Frank Road, State Route 104. And then on 670 heading westbound, watch for crews in the right shoulder in those westbound lanes just past Cassidy Avenue. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Watch the PGA Tour's Next Generation at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship at the Ohio State University Golf Club, September 19th through 22nd. Pub 13 drink specials, food trucks, and more. Get your free tickets at ncc-golf.com.
A wide open border with illegals pouring across. Skyrocketing prices on everyday goods pushing bank accounts to the breaking point, and crime on the rise in our towns and cities. The Democrats are destroying our nation and failing us.
Ohio needs to defeat your horrendous radical left Democrat, Senator Sherrod Brown. He pretends he's my best friend until he gets in, and then he goes radical left all the time. He's not with me. He votes with Biden all the time.
Sherrod Brown and the radical Democrats have shown they will only continue to fail our nation over and over again. In Washington, only Bernie Moreno and President Trump will make America great again by securing our border, building the wall, deporting illegal aliens, ending Biden and Brown's out-of-control inflation, lowering prices on everyday goods, and putting America first.
Vote for Bernie Moreno. He'll be a great, great senator.
I'm Bernie Moreno, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Bernie Moreno for Senate and NRSC.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better, just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone, and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years, and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Get your game room game day ready with Billiards Plus. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, and games the whole family will enjoy. Now's the time to get your name on a pool table before the holiday rush. Plus, top-of-the-line grills still in stock. Shop Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Sunday, a day of rest, relaxation, and Browns football. Catch the Brownies as they host the Giants from the land.
Live coverage starts Sunday at 11 with the Kick It One.
Your Central Ohio home for Browns football. The Fan.
Fall favorites are back in season this week at Meijer. Find locally grown and freshly picked apples in the produce department. Plus, get fresh from Meijer family pack boneless chicken thighs for $2.99 per pound. And Meijer potato or tortilla chips, 3 for $6 when you buy 3 or more. And you'll always get the same low price no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Find everything you need in just one stop when you shop at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Hey folks, Bobby Carpenter here. I picked up my brand new Toyota Tundra last week, and I absolutely love it from my guy Marcello at Germain Toyota. And right now, you can lease the powerful Toyota Tundra SR5 for just $409 per month. That's 36 months, 10,000 miles per year. Built to handle tough jobs and thrilling journeys. The Toyota Tundra SR5 is the ultimate companion for work and play. These deals are rolling out fast, so don't wait. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net. Offer ends soon. See dealer for details.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling.
I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy out there today with a high of 83. Partly cloudy tonight, low 63. And then as we head into your Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high of 81. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Saturday is game day on The Fan.
Sponsored by Reichert Ford.
Every game, every season, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. Heading to work? Keep listening to the guys at the office.
Stream the show at 971thefan.com or download the Fan app.
This is Morning Juice.
Wrapping things up here, little Tuesday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark, and we here on the Juice are brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Programming notes for today. Uncle Beau and the boys up next, 10:33. It is a Tuesday, so Tuesdays with Taberry. That's Dom Taberry, legendary sports broadcaster here in Central Ohio. That's at 10:33. And then at noon, about 3 hours and change away from right now, weekly Ryan Day press conference. Coming off improvement week, Bob. We get Marshall to get ready for. Buckeyes going to be back on the field. Regular game week this week. First noon kick that you're going to have. I like how the Buckeyes have just run through all the kick times already. You've had a 3:30. You've had a night game. Now you get a nooner.
Back tonight for Michigan State.
Back tonight on the Peacock for Michigan State.
Really covering all your bases there with what you're going to see. I'm hoping Iowa, that seems like a nice 3:30 window.
Oh, what are you talking about? That's a big nooner.
They can only have so many big noons, man.
That's a big nooner.
They can't.
Yes, it is.
They're not going to put that on big noon. Michigan's going to be big noon. I wonder what they'll do with
Michigan big noon?
What are you talking about? Is that a question? Dude?
Oh, no, sorry. I thought you were talking about Michigan. No. I thought you were talking about Michigan that week. No, I know Michigan is going to be big noon.
You can only have so many big noons, and they're going to have Penn State on as a big noon, like Ohio State, Penn State, that'll be big noon. Oregon is not going to be. I think they might try to hold back Nebraska. I don't know. But they can't be big noon every week. There's 18 teams. Okay, you have multiple people that have to share.
It's a bad slate, though, that week.
Iowa week?
Yeah. UCLA at Penn State, USC at Minnesota, Michigan at Washington, Rutgers at Nebraska. Might circle that one. Indiana at Northwestern and Purdue at Wisconsin. You're going to be locked into big noon that week. It's going to be a big
I don't know if they can do that.
I think they can, and they will.
Do they still have they have the Big 12 too, though, correct?
Yes.
There might be. I think there's another game in there in the Big 12 that might be.
West Virginia, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Iowa State, UCF and Florida, Texas, Arizona State, Kansas, Arizona State.
You said Texas and who?
Texas Tech and Arizona.
I think one of those early. I don't know. They can only.
We're going to be locked into a big noon.
That game screams 3:30 CBS to me. I think Nebraska, they might want to make the big noon.
Yeah, they play Rutgers that week.
Well, I think they might want to make our Nebraska game big noon, I think. Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to have to try to figure this out thoroughly, how it works. But I know that there was a limit. When you were the Tier 1, you could only pick a team like 3 times to feature them.
Penn State will be a nooner.
100%. Right? Like you're going to have this, Penn State, Michigan. Those are for sure 3 big noons now. I don't know if you can have a 4th out of 12 games, like especially one at home. Like other people want to put Ohio State on too. Like that's NBC wants them, CBS wants them. Like, and you can't just throw them out there.
Rev share, baby.
Here's Akron, take that one. Here's a Western Michigan.
That sounds great.
We're going to give you Michigan State at night on the Peacock. Like that's going to be a good one. You've got to give someone else something with some meat on the bone.
So you said earlier when we did Today in History that Jack Nicklaus, in 1959, won his first USAM, correct? That was the significance of today, September 17th, I believe. is what we brought him. It was 50. It was 59.
59, and then
right?
he won it again in 61 as a junior.
He did. Now, I do have some little Jack Nicklaus golf trivia for you. So, Sharky, put on your thinking cap before we go here. So, Jack Nicklaus won the USAM in 1959 and then 1961. He also paired his 1961 USAM with an individual NCAA championship. There have only been 4 other golfers in history to win an individual NCAA championship and a USAM in the same year. Can you name those individuals?
That have won USAM and
an NCAA championship. Individual
Tiger?
NCAA championship. Tiger is one.
There's how many others?
There are 3 others.
Will Zalatoris.
No.
What's his name from Texas?
Jordan Spieth?
Yeah.
Nope.
Are we going in the Wayback Machine?
These are not Wayback Machine. Tiger is second on that list. Tiger is the second oldest on that list.
There's younger folks.
There are 2 guys who are younger than Tiger and 1 who is older.
Bubba?
No, but you're on the correct side of the golf ball.
Oh, lefty Phil.
There you go. Phil is the earliest at 1990. Tiger won it in 96. If you guys get this, you'll both get $50 million apiece.
Okay, all right.
Is it a guy who's on the tour currently?
It must not be.
Okay. Then I don't know.
That's why we're not going to.
Are you talking PGA Tour or are you talking other tour?
Live.
Could be a live guy.
Is it a live guy?
Yes.
Well, Beam, you got $50 million. You got to.
No, I don't. This isn't the guy who you have 2 more. There's another one in here that's just no way. Ryan Moore is the other one who did it.
I don't even know who that is.
Exactly. So that.
Ryan Gosling?
And there's another one who has done it who jumped ship to the Live Tour. Not too recently, within the last decade.
Within the last decade. Yep. Okay, so that gets rid. Bryson.
There you go. Good job, Shark. Bryson did it in 2015. Ryan Moore did it in 2004. Tiger in 96, and Phil did it in 1990. So and Jack. That's the complete history of people who've won an NCAA championship and a USAM all in the same year. Before we get out of here today, our fan poll at 971thefan.com. Will you purchase the Peacock to see Ohio State, Michigan State game next Saturday? Yes, no, already have it. 60% already have it. 60% already have it. 8% saying yes, 32% saying no. You can also go somewhere and watch. Shark, we're all going to go and crash Megan's party.
Yeah, you're invited.
I'll be watching on my phone at a wedding in St. Louis. That's what I'll be doing.
That's rough.
Bob?
You got the Peacock on the phone.
I do. Got the Peacock phone. Bob, I had so much fun today. What do you say we reconvene on a big Wednesday if they allow us? You good with that?
Let's do it.
Everybody have an awesome day. Uncle Beau and the boys are up next. We're back live tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. to break everything down. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Watching slow-moving traffic on the west side on I-270 southbound. The left lane blocked off just past Roberts Road, and that southbound traffic slow-moving coming in from Hilliard. Also still watching crews at the intersection of 104 and Durrett Road on the south side as they work to clear up a crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
This is a Fan Action Update.
Week 2 NFL betting stats. Favorites end up 5-10-1 against the spread and just 8-8 straight up. For totals, unders went 10-5-1. Road teams had a great weekend going 10-6 straight up with 11 against the spread wins. Browns are a 6.5-point favorite this week over the Giants, and the Bengals are an 8.5-point favorite over the Commanders. For your action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, boneless beef chuck roast or chuck steak in the value pack is $4.99 a pound with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com. Riker. We're dealing with so much happening every day.
ABC6 News is on your side, helping you understand the events that impact your community.
Do you believe Columbus City Schools is in a PR crisis?
Central Ohio's most experienced team of reporters, persistent in getting answers to the questions you're asking.
Are you worried about how people are going to react?
And when you need us, ABC6 News is on your side, finding solutions.
6 on your side, they're the ones willing to answer the phone.
You can count on ABC6 News to be on your side.
You know how when you're living your life, and then all of a sudden you're out there helping cops solve crimes?
ABC Tonight.
I have an IQ of 160. I spot things detectives miss.
The series premiere of fall's most anticipated new drama, High Potential.
That big brain of hers is going to help us close a lot of cases.
Caitlin Olsen is the new face of investigation.
You're a single mom pretending to be a cop.
I am not pretending. I'm just out here super copping.
High Potential.
Tonight at 10 on ABC6.
Order like a champ at Raising Cane's. With tailgates of hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade, you can guarantee victory for every game day meal. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Broadcasting